Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fire Them Cannons. That's right. As I promised you, all 5 days of the week would have content in it. Goal of the week, the weekend. I differentiate something completely different. But as you see, me and Jake are here finally after it feels like forever. Fuck me. So we get to see some Premier League action. It just feels like I haven't done this show with Jake for ages. There's been international break. There've been cup heartbreaks. My God, the last time we recorded a video, we still had quad dreams.
It's been a full 3 weeks.
A Carabao Cup final. Yeah. But thank God the Premier League is back. Because you know why? It's a competition where Arsenal's doing freaking fabulously. So I'm happy to talk about it. Again, we're back. The Premier League is officially advertising the run-in, as they do every year when it's too late. They should have done it about 3 weeks ago, but it is what it is. Big weekend, and it will be that way for now until the end of the season. Big weekend, big week, everything. This is the fun part, and then obviously we'll have the World Cup after that, but that's not what we're on about. Right now we're on about upset alert. All right. Okay. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Generally, I would have seen this game and been like, oh, God, okay, I'm just going to skip out on this one. Wolves against West Ham. Snorefest. But given the implications for a certain rival across town for me, I will be very much watching this one.
Worth having an eye on.
Lots of interest on a Friday night under the lights in West Ham. At West Ham, City struggled with that. So interesting game. Look, I said this yesterday, and I tripled down on it. I believe the Villa game. Everyone kind of thought, oh no, Villa that was the game they had to win to go jump Spurs. This is the game for me. It is the bottom of the table Wolves at home. For a team like West Ham, if they want to stay up in the league, most of the teams they play this season, they'll be the underdog in. There'll be an expectation that more than likely they'll drop points. In this one, they would be the favorite, and as you can see in the odds, they're very much the favorite. So, for me, if West Ham want to step in the league, in fact, I will put it this way. I'm not going to make anything official, but I think that if West Ham win this game, they're the one between Tottenham and West Ham that stays up, because Spurs played their 6-pointer for the relegation last time out at home against Forest and got absolutely smoked. If West Ham were then to accomplish that feat, for me, all the signs are there that West Ham is the team of the two that will more likely stay up in the Premier League. By the way, how rude of me. We've gone 3.5 minutes, and I didn't even introduce Jake because I just got so excited about all this stuff. But as always, Jake is in the building. Actually, did I introduce you? I don't know.
You did. Hey, the people know me. The people know me. It's all good.
The people know you. But, Jake, my boy, tell me how you're feeling. What are your feelings? West Ham against Wolves. This will be a bit of an appetizer before we get into a very early main course for this show. But how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm calling my shot. I'm going to back your play on this one. I think if West Ham win this game and leapfrog Spurs, I don't think they go back into the relegation zone at all for the rest of the season. And I think that this game is going to be based around Wolves kind of being tight and defensively packed in. They, people might say, oh, they're on a bit of a resurgence. Wolves are not looking as bad as they were at home. This is not at home. This is not at Molineux. Wolves have been atrocious away from home, as you might expect from the record there. So, again, my predictions on this one are based around Wolves trying to keep it tight at the back. And as we know, West Ham aren't necessarily prolific going forward, but I do think they will win this one in a tight one, probably from a corner kick or some kind of set piece. And that is why, since I think it's going to be a set piece, corner kick heavy kind of game, and that might be West Ham's only outlet for goal scoring, That's why I've given Thomas Suchek the nod on anytime goal scorer, possibly from a corner kick.
Yeah, look, I don't think this will be a blowout. I would go along those lines because Wolves have actually been on pretty good form recently. People wouldn't know this, by the way, that they haven't played a game of football for a month.
Ages.
So it's 4 weeks exactly, actually, because it was played on the 12th of March, their last game. It'll be the 10th of April.
Yeah, they
so about
sat
4
out the
weeks.
last. They sat out the last Premier League round week because they'd already played us.
Yeah, correct. So it's been 4 weeks since they kicked a ball, but I think that doesn't work. I mean, West Ham, I guess, have played and lost to Villa since, but it doesn't really work in Wolves' favor. I think that actually kind of kills that momentum. And I do think that, yeah, this is a game that West Ham must win. If they can get a draw under the lights against Manchester City, then surely they can get a win against Wolves. I do think that both teams are worth a goal, and this is based off of the fact that Wolves' recent form, but the point I just made about them being off for a month might have them a little bit cold. But that's also my basis on West Ham winning the game. So I don't have the analysis and the data that Jake has, but I'm just seeing like a Jared Bowen maybe goal scoring type of game. The Suchek thing for me is very specific, so I'm really curious to see how that goes in.
Hey, the last time I made a bet on a game I thought
maybe Totti scores or something like.
I'm just gonna say the last time I made a bet on a corner kick goal, I bet Michael Keane to score for Everton, and Everton won 1-0 on a Michael Keane header off of a corner kick, and I made a nice little profit on that bet. So just gonna throw that out there.
All right. So, well, what that would do, by the way, to the Premier League table is, as Jake mentioned a little bit before, West Ham would leapfrog Tottenham. They would go level, actually, with Forest for the moment. But that I gotta tell you, well, we'll get to later on. I don't want to spoil it, but when we get to start Tottenham's game, but they are on the brink of maybe being my next team eliminated from the tiers. If the results went in that way, and that would be insane.
Eliminated, huh?
I don't know. See, I'm so scared to press that last button.
I know you want it. I know you want to.
I'm so scared to press that last button, but yes. And that, by the way, that video will be my highest rated Anton's tiers ever, because I'll be like, Anton has eliminated Tottenham Hotspur from the tiers. Be like, here you go, the biased Arsenal guy going on, relegating Tottenham way early, just like he predicts Arsenal to win the league way early. I know. But, you know, it is what it is. Speaking of Arsenal, we're here for the main course now, so bear with us. Of course, this is what most of our audience cares about, which is Arsenal against Bournemouth. And look, we've spent many a podcasts breaking down Arsenal's recent week, so we're not going to literally harp on about that today, because today is about positivity. We're returning to the competition where Arsenal have we're going back to only 3 defeats all season, 70 points, 5 wins away from a Premier League title. And looking at the odds, man, they've got... I actually didn't think they would have Bournemouth as this much of an outsider.
That's a massive line there.
Yeah, questions, of course. We're gonna do a proper preview on how we feel that Arsenal should approach this game and talk about Bournemouth as well. But from an Arsenal perspective, the injury list is so confusing. Every time I see all these posts pop up about who trained and who didn't train, and for me, I just feel like it's all a smoke screen. Like, Bukayo Saka does not play in any shape or form for me today in this game. Now I'm starting to put a little bit of a red flag of like, whoa, okay, something's going on.
He's supposed to be back.
Like, knee discomfort was what it was told on the injury report. That tends to be one of those things that people write as like a fake injury.
Then why didn't he play for Sporting?
Yeah, that leads to my point of this must be the one where he's back. For all intents and purposes, is back, but that's the one I'm scared to play for.
Not in this game. Not in this game.
Well, the reports are saying that he's been training. He was there.
Don't rush him. We don't want to rush him, man. We don't want to rush him. Odegaard's fine. Odegaard. I think Odegaard is the
Jake
one to
is
play
the
in
only
this one.
person right now. Jake is really gonna back himself here over the reports that are saying that Odegaard has re-injured himself and is mistraining and all this. So Jake, that's bold. So I will message you right away if I see the lineup and I see the captain starting, or even on the bench for this one, because everyone's telling me he's out.
We'll see.
And you know what? I've harped on about my opinions on Havertz. My new revelation on Havertz in the 10, which people have forgotten all of a sudden because he scored a winner in the week, which was big for him. All right. Let's start before we talk about Bournemouth. How would you line up Arsenal for this game, Jake? Let's just start off with.
As strong as we can go. As strong as we can go. If Timber's back, Timber plays. Calafiori and Capier is a toss-up.
Yeah, but we don't know if both of them are the injury report. What happened to Calafiori?
Who knows?
Is he doing an NFL thing where the players don't practice the whole week? And
maybe.
Then,
Maybe. Possibly. Either one, whoever's the fittest of the two of them should start. I would probably, if they were both.
No way am I putting MLS in 11.
If they were both fit, if they were both fully fit, I'm leaning Calafiori. Obviously, it's Gabrieliba and Raya. Yeah, I mean, if Odegaard's fit, he starts for me. And then
you just skip past the midfield. We're like, you know.
Yeah, it's Rice and Zubi. Of course. And then it's Gyökeres, it's Saka, and take your pick on the left, man. Martinelli, maybe because he came in.
I'm just gonna say, you don't want him to play, but I just want it so bad. I actually was thinking about this. If Arsenal go the season and the attack that should be our best attack never starts together all year, I will be pissed. Now, probably not if we win the league or win the Champions League. I'll be all forgotten.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just, fuck it. Eze, he's back. He's starting on the left. Because I'm sorry.
I don't think he will, though. Arteta doesn't like to rush players back, so I don't think he will start. He might be on the bench. But personally, I would actually do what we did versus Sporting. I would start Trossard and finish with Martinelli.
Yeah. Although it just feels like for me, regardless of who you put out there, you're like, we struggled on the left again today. Which is kind of why I'm like...
The thing is, Trossard has been coming so narrow recently, and when he does that, we don't have anybody at all on the left wing, and we're just right side. Well,
that's where you miss Piero and Capier, because Calafiori, as much as he is sporadic, he doesn't make those long-busting runs, overlapping runs like in Capier.
That's because he's overlapping on the right-hand side. That's because he goes on walkabout. He goes on walkabout, and he's just wherever the hell... I don't know. I don't know what that's all about.
James was like, Odegaard has that. Wait, let me take that back. No, he's the second most free role in Arsenal behind Calafiori. I'm like,
Calafiori's going to end up, doing the short corner kick on the right-hand side of the field with Odegaard. Like, where are you, bro? That's why, and I don't know, man. Maybe if Nkapie's fit, he should play because he stays home more versus that side that counterattacks really well.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that side that counterattacks really well, I'm going to refer to Jake, who probably has a deeper, better knowledge and probably has watched more Bournemouth games than I have. Tell me a little bit. What are the threats that Arsenal should look out for from Bournemouth this weekend? What would be the formula for them to get anything away at us in a doomsday scenario?
This game suits them. This game suits them. My script 2 here, grinding draw, Bournemouth press causes chaos. And it's underpriced in this one as far as the betting markets are concerned. They are one of the most direct sides in the league, so it suits them. The way they're going to play, the way we play at home is going to suit them, so don't have any doubts about it. This game is going to be tough, very tough. And they are going to kind of do what Sporting did. They're going to sit in and look to hit on the break. Will they press higher than Sporting? Maybe. but they are deadly on the counterattack. Look for Junior Krupi to definitely. I mean, if you want to bet anything for Bournemouth, Krupi to get a shot on target.
To be honest, Jake, though, from an Arsenal point of view, the player we always seem to be struggling against since he signed for them is Evan Nielsen. He always seems to have his best. He scored against us earlier this season. Am I wrong?
He did.
We seem to always struggle with Evan Nielsen, regardless of his form. I don't know how you feel, but I think for me, he'd be a great shout for shots on target, potential if they were to score, to be a goal scorer, just because he's got great record against Arsenal.
I agree that in general, when you're betting for Bournemouth, Evan Nielsen is the producer as far as shots and goals. But every single time I've ever went with that and said, all right, Evan Nielsen's going to score today, or Evan Nielsen's going to get a shot on target today, he drops a generational stinker. And so I'm like,
yeah, but he's never done it. But has it been against Arsenal? I actually want to look back. Has he scored every time he's played us since he signed for them? I feel like that.
So I know he scored this season, and I know he scored.
He definitely scored last year.
He was the one. He was the one that Saliba brought down for the red card.
Yeah.
At the GTEC, at the community last season, but they beat us twice last season. So I think he may have scored in both games.
I know. I remember the goal that they scored last year that burns in my brain is the Huijsen one.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just because I really like that player.
Because it was so unexpected.
Yeah. What were the other? Because they scored. Wait.
Probably Justin Kluivert, if I had to guess.
I'm gonna go back.
But Kluivert's out. He's out.
Yeah, Kluivert's been out for a while.
He won't be playing in this one.
So
it'll be Ryan.
Their game against us last year. That's
guy.
right. They won 2-1 at the Emirates last year. That's the crazy thing about this. Huijsen and Evan Nielsen. He has. Every game, I'm right. 3 for 3, Evan Nielsen has scored in every game he's played against Arsenal. I knew it. I wasn't crazy.
Well, I'll say this. I never, ever, 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 ever bet player props against Arsenal. Because at the basis of what I bet on when I bet for Arsenal is that we have the best defense around. And so while I think we might concede in this game, there's a strong chance we don't. So I never bet goal scorer props against Arsenal unless it's like Erling Haaland.
Yeah. But to be fair, though, in all of those games, Evan Nielsen has not managed to actually play Saliba and Gabriel combination for the full 90 minutes. Because Gabriel was hurt that last time, right? He was during his injury spell. It was Saliba and it was our Kivior who started that game. The first one, obviously, Saliba got sent off. And then this one, I believe, one of them missed the game. I think it was Saliba.
Right.
And it was Mascara and Gabriel, I'm pretty sure, when we played them earlier this year.
Sure.
So, that's I guess, a factor you can say that maybe for the first time he won't, and we'll see. For me, this is just to kind of bring this analysis to a close a little bit. I agree with your lineup, by the way, but with the death squad, I'm using your philosophy of let's get up. No, it won't be one of those games.
Please.
It just won't be one of those games, though. This will be like the fucking Everton game.
Yep. Yes, it will. Except Bournemouth are going to have more threat on the counter that Everton did.
Yeah. But we got Raya back. Oh, yes. See, this is why Miles O'Skelly, absolutely, I don't care what Calafiori little thing he has or he has to play. By the way, Hincapié has been ruled out. I'm just reading a post that he's been ruled out for this weekend. So Calafiori has to play, yeah.
I would even play Mascara over Miles O'Skelly.
All right, this is my prediction for it. This is my on the way out on the left. Interesting. This is my prediction for it. 2-1.
Agreed.
I'm gonna say Evan Nielsen continues his 4 for 4.
Sure.
I think Arsenal take the lead. I think it'll be from a set piece because I think Saka's back and we'll get a nice early one. Then they're gonna panic us back, and then we're gonna respond and we're gonna win. Don't. I can't tell you who's gonna score the winner, but we're gonna win.
Victor Gyökeres is gonna score the winner.
There you go. Well, of course, because that's your not to ruin it. I'll do it before Jake's actual thing. Oh wait, I did do that. Jake's actual thing. Jake's prop was Gyökeres anytime goal scorer, but now I'll hand you the floor now on your. I did kind of just quickly flash your score in the screen quickly while I was going across.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with your scoreline. Absolutely. I think that it's because of how much respect I'm giving Bournemouth. I do think that we defend really well, and I think Declan Rice being back, is our best against the transition defense, or for our transition defense. And I think that's where this game is going to be won and lost. If we don't win the second balls in the midfield and give them way too many opportunities coming for us on the break, we're going to struggle, and it's going to be a long day, as they say in England. But if we can minimize those opportunities, minimize those opportunities through Declan Rice and Zubi winning the second balls, then I think we can shut them down and keep them kind of like Sporting to only a couple of opportunities on the break. If we see Ben White in there, it's probably going to be more opportunities. Ben White
grew into the Sporting game, though. Ben White,
he got fleeced a couple of times down. He got fleeced.
By the way, as you know, I always do. I always was second viewing, and by the way, this one was much easier to do because we won. But that ball from Diamande, sorry, that would have beat any fullback. Like that was the thing that I was like criticizing Ben White for, and I'm like, you know what? That was the part where he looked exposed and Araujo got him and he hit the post. But beyond that, I actually thought Ben White grew into the game. And by the way, Araujo started having to move to the opposite side of the pitch as a fullback, kind of like Calafiori style, under the right to try to overload on Cala, because obviously Cala vacated the area.
Yeah. The thing is though, I would kind of maybe say you can give Ben White some grace because it was an amazing pass. If he hadn't have lost his man in the Southampton game as well, in a similar thing where, homie, track your man. It's simple shit. What are you doing? And so immediately 5 minutes into the next game, you get burned because you're not tracking your man?
Yeah, I know. That was that. Yeah, it's not. Sometimes, man, these game scripts end up being such torturous. Like, just think of a way how to torture Arsenal fans. Let's do it. And by the way, to wait until 90 plus 1 to score as well.
And look what happened in the
Had
the
a
game
goal disallowed.
Look what happened in the game before that versus Manchester City. They found a chink in our armor, and they just attacked the outside back. Attacked our outside backs. Boom, 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 boom. Over and over and over and over and over again. And if Ben White ever comes under that kind of pressure from any team, he's going to fold like a lawn chair.
Yeah. By the way, Ryan and Krupi they're going to be a trouble for us all day if our fullbacks are playing the way they have in recent games. So
please give me Timber. Please give me Timber.
I know. Just give me Timber. I agree. Yeah. By the way, the Gyökeres, my Gyökeres take for Sporting away went out the window.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna let that one go.
I said at least one. Didn't even give me one. I almost had an assist when he was offside. Maybe the home leg. But I'm just gonna say humbled. But I just want it. To be honest, I just fucking want it. I'm just against Sporting.
Look for
Question
me.
Is, will this actually come out or will he celebrate? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Martin Tyler maybe think about that.
For me, I would probably be comfortable betting Gyökeres to score in every single game for the rest of the season.
Which is what his prop is now.
Because he's like, it's your time, bro. It's time for our main goal scorer to step up, and he has been. I'm not saying like he hasn't been. I'm saying like continue doing what you're doing. Step up and bagging goals.
The
He's
definition
gonna blow
of
past. He's gonna blow past
buying
that
a striker
20-goal
to help
mark.
you win the league.
He's gonna blow
picking
past
up the
that 20-goal mark.
points. Yeah. Look,
He
I'll
might
just
end
say
on
it right now.
25.
If he scores the winning goal for Arsenal to pick up another 3 points after he just did it in our last game against Everton as well, that's 6 points that he's just been worth in the run-in.
I think he's gonna score. He might score 5 more goals this season, 5 or 6 more goals this season for us.
I think he'll eclipse the 20 in all comps.
Like total. Oh, he's gonna beat that easy.
Yeah, I think
He
so.
only
Well, he
needs
already
3.
has. He's
got 17. He only needs 3 more
If he includes
goals.
country, he's at 21.
He's already done it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on past the Arsenal, though, to the next game. This will be a good one. This will be after our game. It'll be right after. I'll probably be asleep, or we'll probably actually be on the fucking show, won't we?
This is going to be a fun game.
Yeah. We'll probably have to keep our eyes on some of these scores when we're doing our show after our Arsenal game, because it's a tricky one doing a show after an early kickoff. But yeah, at the G-Tech, Everton against Brentford. Both of these teams, inside the top 10, top number 7, number 8 in the league. They're actually bang on 46 points each. Both 2 points behind Chelsea. So if there's a winner in this one, they would actually leapfrog Chelsea. By the way, with Chelsea hosting Manchester City the next day, it's a great opportunity for one of these two teams to really, really push.
They're going to draw a level with Liverpool, man. A winner in this game draws them level with Liverpool. Yeah. No matter who it is. Liverpool, I think, have a better goal. So if Brentford win 5-0, they will go into 5th place.
There you go. So for me, I'll go first. Because I'll let Jake do his props and all that. I think it'll be a draw. I look at it, bang even, identical seasons, really. I mean, the only difference is I think Brentford have been higher up the table for longer, where Everton have been sort of like lower mid-table. That's kind of like, now they're kind of like sneaking up. This is like their peak of the season. But through 31 games, it's identical records. And for me, I like the idea of it being... Look, Everton have been one of the better away teams all season. Brentford's been one of the better home teams all season. So for me, it just feels like something's got to give, and I don't think anything will give. I'm
telling you right now,
2-2 draw.
I'm telling you right now, if you look at how Chelsea are crumbling, and if you look at how Liverpool are crumbling, it won't be a massive shock if one of these teams makes Champions League.
Hey, you're reviving my Brentford in the Champions League take?
I'm just saying, man. They're 3 points back. They're 3 points back of the Champions League spots. And both Chelsea and Liverpool are playing like dog shit right now.
By the way,
Everton themselves in their last Premier League game smoked Chelsea.
By the way, if Brentford make Champions League, they'll get some good players, and they'll be a pain in the ass team to play against in the Champions League. The way they set up in that stadium, the long throws,
if you're a betting man, if you're a DGen gambler, a futures bet on Brentford to make Champions League is not out of the question.
Champions League knockout. I think if they make the Champions League, I think they'll make the knockout. I think people will overlook them, but I just think that their home ground is so hard to go play in. For European teams, this is a real physical, the epitome of a physical Premier League team, which no other country is used to playing these type of teams. Newcastle, I think, got a little bit too showboaty because they're a little bit of more of an ego, and they really went and attacked these games. Brentford, I think, will approach it in the way they do always, because this is how they do it when they play Arsenal, when they play City, when they play Liverpool.
It's an awareness of who they are.
Got wins, except for with us, but wins against many of these teams at home. Man United, Liverpool, Spurs, there's a huge list. Chelsea.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, man. I'm telling you.
Newcastle, another one.
Don't be surprised.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves this one. Meanwhile, though, Jake, are you with me with this, or are you willing to pick a winner?
I have just edged Brentford in this one, I think. Just because they're at home. And my prediction packet gave me a kind of an interesting view of this game, where focused the outputs around the fact that Everton are kind of vulnerable against counterattacks, and Brentford have been the best team statistically on the counterattack, which is interesting because you might not think Everton are going to come forward and try to necessarily put it on Brentford away from home, and they might be a little bit more, on the break and defensive, kind of defensive. But if they come out at all, at any point, to try and score at all, at any point, I think Brentford can be devastating on the break. And if Brentford score first, this is nailed on. If Brentford go up 1-0, I think the 2-1 is nailed on.
All right. And Jake's props for today is, for this game?
I think that Erling Haaland is the easiest bet for a player prop to score. Right underneath that, Igor Thiago. Anytime goal scorer. He's got 19 league goals. I mean, yeah.
Moving on, at the same time as this, on the goal rush, the one that will probably be on the side and will be only getting goal updates because it's nowhere near as fascinating. Burnley against Brighton, and I'm going to say it right now. By the way, Brighton are big favorites for this, but Hertzler, I picked on him every single time. I don't even notice.
I know. I can't imagine why.
I picked on him every single game. I want to see you play the most amazing front-footed football ever. You're the favorites. You're playing a Burnley team. They're 19th.
We're talking prime MSN Barcelona. I want to see some attacking.
You said, hey, I will never play defensive football. I would never play like that ever. You're away from home at a relegation team. I want to see some just amazing.
I want to see some Bayern Munich pressure. Some Bayern Munich pressure on these guys. Like, I want to see you put it on them.
Big up that big mouth of yours. And by that logic, I'm going with a 3-1 Brighton win. Here you go. They'll be hearing some ole, ole, ole from the away support. If Herzl obviously is true to his word. How about you, Ben?
Yeah, I think there's not too much analysis on this one, really. Burnley are poor. They're not great home or away. It doesn't matter. They concede a lot and they can't score very well. And, I think, I don't even remember what I said. Brighton 3-0 maybe. It's going to be...
You wrote 2-0.
2-0. That's conservative, I think. I think that Brighton are still in with an outside shot at some European competition. They're only 6 points back of 5th. So they're in there. And I think they're going to come and put it on them.
They're 10th right now, yeah. They're only 3 points behind Everton and Brentford.
Exactly. I think they're going to come and put it on Burnley and sweep them aside. It's just going to have too much for them. I think that Danny Welbeck in absolute incredible form.
He's highest goal scoring season ever.
He's trying to make the England squad, as backup for Kane.
I don't think he will, though.
What if he scores another 10 goals? What if he scores another 10 goals and
this is a whole other
finish
topic.
in Europa League?
This is a whole other topic, but the way that these international managers pick these players, it's got nothing to do with their most of the league. Like Welbeck, I feel like is a little bit past it. He sort of had his moments. Like,
what English striker other than Kane is scoring better than Welbeck right now? He's the highest scoring Englishman in the league right now.
Yeah, who would have to? I mean,
what English player is it's a
good question. Wait,
a better backup right now.
I don't
know
about
goal scoring
goal scores, but who I think will make the team.
I'm just saying
from the English players.
But my point is that in Welbeck's mind, he has a shot. And so he's going to try to continue to, really be focused and on it. So for this game, I think he's going to score. And also, I think that another player to have your eye on is Karuma Toma. Obviously, check lineups.
England.
Obviously, check lineups. Check lineups. Make sure the proper players are starting. So,
by the way, Rashford, I think playing at Barcelona this year, I don't know if he scored more than him, but I think he's a shout to come back in the square. I think Ollie Watkins is a shout.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Rashford has been playing a lot on the wing for Barcelona, and
yeah, but England is so stacked on the wings that if Welbeck's going to make the squad for England, it'll be as a striker.
Oh, of course. That's what I'm saying. But I was talking about Rashford.
That's his avenue into the squad, right?
Rashford will try.
I'm talking about Rashford. I'm talking about Rashford. Sorry, that would be Rashford's. That would be because they're so. That way he can get Morgan Rogers on the plane. He can get he can get Saka on the plane. Palmer. I had read a whole list about all the wingers that they've got.
Don't just put Cole Palmer in there, and don't just put Philly Foden in there either.
I mean, you got Eze in there, Anthony Gordon. Some
tough decisions.
Top of my head.
There's some tough decisions for
the
Tommy
thing is
TT.
because it really depends on where and how. We're got way off topic, but Brighton and Burnley. I'm about to bring up the name Jude Bellingham, but it really depends on where Jude Bellingham is positioned in the England team, because if he plays him in the 10, all of a sudden your other 10s are going out wide to try to earn or claim a spot there, and that's kind of where the congestion comes from. All right.
But anyway, Brighton will sweep him aside, and Welbeck's going to score.
All right. Let's move on to the late game at Anfield. A very, very poor Liverpool form recently. Since coming back from the international break, they got absolutely swept aside by Man City, and then a few days later got swept aside by PSG. Now, for them, luckily for them, Fulham, you would assume, is a bit of a easier task. Not quite the same level as those other two teams that I just mentioned. I forget, what was Liverpool's result before we went to the break in the Prem?
No idea.
Going back. They lost 2-1 away at Brighton, right? Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, Liverpool,
and then the Premier League game before that was a draw at home to Tottenham. And then the Premier League game before that was a loss to Wolves. Oh my God.
You're missing a 3-0 Galatasaray win. 4-0 Galatasaray.
I'm talking about Premier League games. Premier League games.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the last 3 Premier League games, Chelsea is still one of the last 3 Premier League games for Arsenal. So the Premier League is like, you have to go way back to find the last few results, because we've had so many FA Cups and Carling Cups and Champions League. Yeah. That's why Fulham haven't played in 3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, well, they played more recently, and then the last time they did play was 3 weeks ago, and they beat Burnley 3-1. So they've got better form just there than Liverpool. Interesting one, especially, by the way, with the news that Mo Salah will be leaving at the end of the season. I imagine he's going to get a rapturous applause, at least beginning of his farewell tour for Liverpool. So that'll be something to look out for in terms of...
Does he start?
I don't know. You'll have to... I mean, who starts if it's not... I mean, he didn't play against PSG, did he?
Neither did Rio. Frimpong started. That's because Flat played a back... It's a dumpster fire. Okay? Even if Salah plays, you know what this is. You know what I've called for this one. Even if Salah plays.
I'll go first here, because... You've got something for the people, but I'm not going to be as explosive. Look, I've been looking through. This is, by the way, this fixture historically, goals. But I just do feel like, by the way, Fulham is going to be tough. And the last time these two teams played each other, by the way, it was 1-1 heading into the injury time. Liverpool got a late winner, and then Fulham, like 30 seconds later, blasted one from near the halfway line to win.
What a goal. That might still be goal of the season.
That might be goal of the season.
Yeah. That might still be goal of the season.
That might definitely be goal of the season. But
no.
I think that Liverpool's going to win in a shootout. I think somehow I mentioned it's I don't know. I'm not confident about it, but for something about me tells me that Liverpool's going to have a win somewhere, and they do have a lot to fight for. They're a better team than Fulham, regardless like what you think about. They are better. I'm not quite. I said to Jake backstage, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool lost. They look dead, but Liverpool seem to be this team historically. It might not be now. That always seem to, when they go back home, that crowd seems to lift them to doing something that's uncharacteristic from where they're in. I mean, I remember one time. I remember when they played I think it was under Klopp. They lost 3-0 at the Nou Camp, came back and won 4-0 at Anfield and beat Barcelona on the way to a
Yeah,
Champions League
but
final.
Barca didn't show up. That was the game where Trent hit that quick corner kick, and Barcelona were looking the other way. Barca
Yeah.
didn't show up to that game, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's something about Liverpool. You know what I mean, about the magic of Anfield.
And that's Champions League. That's Champions League.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see.
Under the lights.
Yeah, they have gotten smoked. All right, Liverpool fans. I know I was one of your hated content creators at the start of the year. I'm trying to win myself back amongst your supporters. Jake has just caught me fraudulently trying to pick you in a football game, so I'll just let him do his thing.
Yeah, man. You know what this one is for me. We're talking a Harry Wilson special. I think there's going to be a Champions League hangover. I think that Liverpool, and I've only given
What hangover? They didn't get out of first gear against fucking PSG.
I only haven't picked a Fulham win because I still respect Anfield, and I still respect the fact that Liverpool have to make Champions League this season. So it's not going to be like they won't be up for it and they'll have an eye on we're saving ourselves for Paris. I don't think that's going to be the dynamic. They know that they have to win, but I think Fulham are too good. They're too rested. Harry Wilson is an absolute monster. He's having an absolutely amazing season, and this is a job interview for him. Honestly, he's going to come to Anfield. He wants to show the crowd. He wants to show, FSG might be in the stands. They might have some board members in the stands. What's the sporting directors? He might be in the stands. So I'm just saying, Harry Wilson, chance to shine here. I think
I've been saying that a few weeks ago, already, Jake. You're starting to come along to the Harry Wilson back to Liverpool thing. Guys,
I'm on board.
Listen to this, right? For all Liverpool fans who are in Michael B and be like, what are you talking about? We're getting Elise. Guys, Elise is playing for Bayern Munich, and they're most likely going to make a Champions League semi-final or even maybe final with Bayern. He's one of their best players. You guys may not even make Champions League. And you know it's a great fallback if you don't make Champions League? A Harry Wilson, who has been one of the better players in the Premier League this year outside of the big boys.
And you'll have no problem signing. You'll have no issues signing. He'll want to come. He'll want to play for the club that he used to play, that he started at. He'll want to come. Michael Elise, you're going to have to convince. And and you're going to have to give him a humongous contract. Humongous. And you could probably give Harry Wilson half the contract you have to give to Elise.
When you guys bought Mo Salah, he wasn't some sort of household name. He was, and that's the history of Liverpool. Your big signings don't work out. You've already learned from this summer. You know who has worked out for Liverpool? Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino, Mane, who they got from Southampton. Oh yeah, that is Liverpool. Trent, from the academy, which by the way,
where did Danny Sturridge come from? Danny Sturridge wasn't really a huge name before he came to Liverpool.
Where did Raheem Sterling come from?
There you go.
Where did Steven Gerrard come from? Where did Jamie Carragher come from? Where did going on? Michael Owen. Where did they come from?
So I think Harry Wilson's probably going to score, maybe even get an assist, maybe even both in this game. But I think because Liverpool are still gonna, they're still gonna give it a go. And I think it's gonna end 1-1.
Yeah, I like it. And by the way, the odds for that is amazing. $4.20 for the draw. By the way, I'm totally sleeping on reading out the odds, but that's why I have the graphic for
they're there.
So everyone can see. Go back on the video if you've not already been seeing it already. They're all there. So that's kind of why I don't have to say them. All right, let's move on. Now we're on to our Sunday schedule, and we're at the busy Sunday goal rush. There are 3 2 p.m. kickoffs, but all of them are tasty. Right?
This is a tough.
All of them are tasty. All of them are tasty games. This will be a good one. A good appetizer.
The whole rest of the
main
week
event
is tasty. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Crystal Palace coming off of their win in the Conference League. Face a Newcastle team who they've also had a bit of a break now, because they got knocked out of the champs. They're no FA Cup because they got knocked out of
FA.
there too. The last time they were out, they lost the Time Weird Derby. Who called that one?
Yeah, God, that seems like so long ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that was only hours before we felt pain. Yeah, close odds, by the way. They actually have Newcastle as the favorites going away to Selhurst Park.
Long trip.
Jake, how are you feeling about this one? I'll let you go. I've been going first for a while through the ones. How are you feeling about the trip? I know you have it's a tough one for you.
This was a really hard one to call. I think that where my decision kind of fell was the fact that Palace won 3-0 versus Fiorentina, and they're probably going to go to Italy next week and just kind of sit back and stink it out. And so I think that Mateta is going to play, even though he's just come back from injury. They're going to want to get minutes in his legs. He did score, so I think he's going to have an impact on this game. But yeah, I was back and forth on this one. Probably going to be a low-scoring affair. What did I say? Draw? I think I said draw. Or did I say both teams?
You said
score?
1-1 draw. You know what's so funny?
Yeah.
Before Jake came on this program, he goes, never, ever, ever pick a draw. And ever since he's just come on, picking draws left, right, and center. You might as well call him Mr. Draw. It's not that easy. Once you sit behind the chair, it's not that easy.
It's so tough. Like I read through my prediction packet that I do, and like the best bet is double chance Crystal Palace. You know, like actually my safest play in my output is not even. It was just the under. Just bet straight the under.
Oh, this bet, by the way, is insane to me. So Mateta, I feel like hasn't played forever, and obviously he's coming back first game in the Premier League in like since the January transfer window, really. When they found out via medical that he was severely injured. Everybody knew about that.
Yeah. But he scored in their last game
at Crystal Palace.
He came back. He came back and scored versus Fiorentina. And
so you don't think that Strand Larsen starts this one instead? Maybe.
It was a penalty. Mateta got the penalty. That's why you always wait for lineups, people. Check your lineups. It's Strand
Larsen to score.
Yeah. Hey.
Crystal Palace striker here to score.
I've been very impressed with Strand Larsen. Very impressed with how he has it. At Wolves, you're awful. You're the worst striker in the league. At Crystal Palace, the improvement has been humongous. He's looked very good for them. And I think the fact that Bruno G is still out is going to really impact this game. And again,
out?
Yeah, wait for lineups. This one, like above all, before you make a bet on this game, wait for lineups, because if Palace do rotate in the middle of the field, it'll be a lot more even. And Newcastle
guys, like, is there any chance? Because I was thinking about it. Is any like, I know you mentioned it backstage that there's 3-0 wins, so they should be able to they should cruise. But do you not save an Adam Wharton or something? Played?
Nah.
No.
I've actually watched Fiorentina this season a few times. I've had my eye on the Serie A this season. Fiorentina are shit. I don't know how they've made it to it's Conference League, so that makes sense. Fiorentina are having a bad season, bro. They're down at the bottom of Serie A. They're in a relegation fight in their own league. So they might not even. And yeah, I think Palace are through in the Conference League, and so I don't expect as much rotation, which is why I think they're going to give Newcastle a game, and I think this will be a stalemate.
All right, well, my prediction has got nothing to do with actually the game, now that I've realized that Bruno not be playing again. This is an appeal to my friends Ash and Kane. We play you in a few weeks' time, and It's been a long time since I've had a Thunderdome. And we and you have had we've gone back and forth in the chat. We've had some arguments. I think I might have said some stuff about your club that offended you a little bit. But this is my token of peace. That way I can give you back for a Thunderdome. it would be my first Thunderdome without Cal, so it'd be a little bit sad. But you guys are some of my favorite creators to come in here and chat with. Therefore, this is my peace offering.
Whoa!
3-1 Newcastle away win.
Whoa!
This is my prediction.
That's a big win.
Yeah, Newcastle are going to win
a
all their
big
games
win.
except for Arsenal for the rest of the season. You're making Champions League. I'm just saying it to appeal to them.
We love you, Ash. That's why we're saying this. We love you.
All right. And after that, we're moving on. Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. Oi.
Another spicy one.
This
Another
is gonna be a
spicy one.
I've never cared so much about relegation games before
Right?
in my life. Oh my god. Yeah. By the way, I have the odds in the wrong way. It's Nottingham Forest at home, not Villa at home. I've got the Villa
Right.
before the Forest, so ignore that. Wait, does that mean the odds are wrong? Let me just check. Maybe I had a bit of a screw up. I want to.
Villa should still be favored.
See,
I think
this
your
is
I
where-
think your odds are right.
Let's just double check here because yeah. Wait, let me look at the.
I'm gonna look at DraftKings, see what it says.
No, Forest are the favorite. Oh, damn it!
Are they really? No
Yeah,
way.
it's 262. Damn it.
What?
I was wrong, guys. This is why I read the graphic out sometimes. It says Villa's 262, but it's actually Forest 262. But what's 8
Really?
cents between friends? It's basically an even money scoreline. Yeah.
Yeah, DraftKings has Forest as a small favorite as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Hey, you know what?
Interesting.
Not as interesting. I'll let Jake go first for obvious reasons.
What did I
Hey,
forgot what I said.
last time a relegation team went to play Aston Villa, were disappointed, but Nottingham Forest had a pretty nice performance away at Spurs on their own. What's a bit of a cooking of Aston Villa at home? Is it on the cards? I don't know, Jake. What do you say?
Oh man, this one's gonna be tight. This one's gonna be tough. My knee jerk was yes, Villa would probably win this game. They won in Bologna 3-1, so they're bringing that tie back to the.
I'm so jealous.
To
I'll be
Birmingham.
in Bologna soon in about 6-7 months. Oh, the pasta
Yeah,
apparently is amazing. I've been
so-
looking on Instagram. Anyway, that's way off topic. You said Bologna and.
Yeah, they're
got me
gonna-
thinking about pasta.
Villa will definitely play a strong team. They're not going to rotate because they are in a very good position. Forest, I don't know, man. It's going to be a really tough. This is why I was back and forth on this game because yes, they have a big game next week versus Porto at home in the Europa League quarterfinals. But they're still battling relegation, and they're not safe. So they might just go balls to the wall in both of these games, which is why I still think they've got something in this one. Did I say draw? I may have said draw in this one as well. I've already forgotten.
You did.
Goal-scoring draw in this one, I've said. And this went completely against because my betting packet or whatever, my output from Claude told me it didn't take into account the fact that Forest are fighting relegation. And so it had the game a little bit tighter. I think this game could be wide open. Both teams' scores probably nailed on. My initial knee jerk is Villa are a better team, but yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty even.
Yeah. You know what's a very interesting twist, by the way, is Douglas Luiz, who was on loan at Nottingham Forest earlier this season, is now going to be playing against Nottingham Forest. He played in the reverse fixture the last
For Forest, right?
For Forest.
And now he's playing for Villa. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the interesting one to watch. But for me,
I forgot to say
this
Gibbs
is
White. I forgot to
well,
say Gibbs White. He's the guy to look out for in this one.
Yes. That's the prop. For me, guys, this is the last time I'll be referring to Nottingham Forest as a relegation candidate because of this. Wait a second.
There it is.
Hey, that is not an error by the betting companies, because they thought, just like me, that Nottingham Forest are going to gain a narrow win. And yeah, for me, if this were to happen and they were to stay up, they were to win this game. By the way, my Vitor Pereira thing about, hey, what the fuck is this? The Wolves manager? Wrong. He's been amazing. I take back every word I said about Marinakis and that being a bad decision. That was a great decision. Hey, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day anyway, isn't it? But I'm talking about Marinakis.
So according to what we've said so far in this video, if West Ham win and if Forest win, Spurs are out of the tiers. If Forest and West Ham win this weekend, Spurs will be eliminated from the tiers.
Do you think they're that lifeless? That
I'm calling.
We haven't even gotten to their game yet. They're next. They're on deck. We're just like, yeah. Look, I was saying maybe it's just I've been listening to Terry a bit too much, telling about how generational Elliot Anderson is, and I'm buying all the Elliot Anderson hype. I think he gets a goal or assist in this one. That's my personal prop, even though that's not his thing. But I've been hearing him like compared to Declan Rice. Like, hey, you know, he reminds me of Declan Rice at West Ham, which, by the way, is a classic. Every single year when a person's available in the transfer market that becomes the next best player ever. It was a bit of a joke.
I thought that comparison, was it a gal that was making that comparison?
No, it was Terry, and it was
who said that?
Mo and Terry.
I disagree with the whole premise of that argument. How can you compare a player to someone 3 years ago?
They're saying West Ham's Declan Rice.
That's my point. What kind of sense does that comparison make? None. Declan Rice is not that player anymore. West Ham were a way different team than Arsenal are.
Forest.
That comparison, it was really, really weird to me. Really, really weird to me.
But anyway,
yeah,
we digress. Regardless, I think Elliot Anderson's team is going to win, and they're staying up in the league. Look, the Tottenham thing. We'll get into the Tottenham because honestly, that is a big call. I only have one more elimination card to play, and if I give that to Tottenham, like, first of all, I'd love to, and that was the plan. That's in my perfect world. The De Zerbi change. We'll get into that in a second. You know what? We kind of did this one. I think Forest is going to win. Yeah, I just think it's that relegation momentum. I think after having beaten them, having beaten Spurs the way they did, I feel like they're like, hey, we get a win against this Villa team who, outside of that win against West Ham, have been kind of slipping down the league. And I think, it'll be a big win. I think Forest have got it home. And they by the way, have been hard to beat at home anyway this season. All right, let's finally get into this. This is what we want to fucking talk about. Roberto De Zerbi's first game of Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know if we can call it rain or I don't know. I don't know how this is going to shake up.
We're going to call it a crash and burn.
I don't know. Look, I said that it doesn't matter who's the manager of Tottenham. Their problems will still be their problems. I'm very, because I rate De Zerbi, but I just don't know if he's a save you from the fire pit type of manager. We're going to have to see. But I do think he's the type of manager, though, who can provide a new manager bounce. He's the type of player, he's exciting, he's highly rated. The players actually respect him somewhat. He's Italian. I don't know, every time, you have these Italian managers, they always seem to be like, oh, hey, this guy must be some sort of tactical genius. And by the way, he plays an amazing brand of football. Which is what Tottenham fans want, but is it a bit inappropriate when you're battling relegation, when you probably need more steel? We'll see. Jake, new manager bounce, do you feel that? Or is the Fortress of Light going to remain fortress for Sunderland?
Yeah, the first thought I had about this game was, all right, Sunderland are on the beach, but they've proven me wrong. I thought that they might be lackluster even against Newcastle because of the fact that they're on the beach, but they completely proved that wrong. And then my next thought was, all right, Danny Ballard, former Arsenal, and of course Granit Xhaka, they're going to be up for this at the Fortress of Light. And I think because Tottenham with De Zerbi, what I know of him is that he likes to try to play out from the back. He likes to try to press high. And I think when you do that, when you try to transition a team into that, in your first couple of opportunities, your first couple of goes at it with the new formation, you're going to get scored on a lot. As you're trying, the growing pains of becoming a De Zerbi team means you're going to concede on your way to becoming that team. You're going to concede a lot more than you will when you finally get to your final form, right? And so and that's why I agree with you. This might have been a mistake because you only have 7 games to get it right. And if it takes you 3 games to really get going, you can't can't afford,
based on the results we were predicting,
you can't afford
one game.
You can't afford to even drop 1 game in the situation you're at. And so I think that it's like disappointment was if they'd have done it when Tudor, if they'd appointed De Zerbi at the same time they'd appointed Igor Tudor, they'd probably survive. They would probably survive because by this point they would have found how they play under De Zerbi, and they would be more structurally compact.
The funny thing is, the option was out there.
I think it's too late. I think they've messed it up, and it's too late. So I think that this game is going to be too difficult for them as they try to become a De Zerbi team. They're going to concede, and I think they're going to lose this game. What did I say? 2-1 Sunderland? Yeah.
Yes, 2-1 Sunderland.
Brian Brown's going to be too much, bro.
Wait.
He's going to be way too much for him.
If we include both of us agreed that West Ham win. If you go with my upset alert of the Forest win and this result, what would the table look like? You would have
Spurs
Tottenham still on 30, West Ham on 32, and Forest on 35. We have yet to get into Leeds' prediction, but because now it comes into play now, because Leeds would fall behind Forest. So they would kind of get dragged into it a little bit. But that's kind of my thought process behind it, by Forest being safe.
Spurs play Leeds too. Spurs still play Leeds. They still play
Leeds to be safe this whole time, despite them being dangerously close mathematically.
So it might be Leeds that put Tottenham down.
Could be. You prop on this game before I get into how I feel. Yeah, Brian Brobby. That's actually what Jake wrote down in his notes pregame. He goes, Brian Brobby. I'm like, Brian Brobby what? Brian Brobby anytime go.
Brian Brobby's going to F shit up. That's what he's going to do.
He was saying.
That's what he's going to do.
All right, this is mine, guys. You're going to be like, damn it, Anton, you pussy-o. 2-2 draw. Hey, it's drop points.
That'll still have them in relegation. They'll still be in relegation.
It would still be in relegation, yeah, but it wouldn't be eliminated from the tiers relegation.
I want to see it.
Do you know what, guys? If the results line up the way with 2 wins and a Tottenham loss, I will be literally going back and forth in my brain whether to press the button. I will. I'm not going to say I guarantee you I will, but it'll be a thought. It'll definitely be a thought. I'll be tossing. One day they'll be eliminated. The next day they'll be back. The next day they'll be eliminated. And it depends what day I actually film and when I decide what is going to be.
We forgot to mention. Kudus re-injured, out for the season.
Oh, that's not good.
I don't know. You're about to be back, and then you get another hamstring injury that you need a surgery on. Yeah, it's what's going on.
Well, they do get Bergvall back, who played in semi-assisted Gyökeres, who takes the additional shot in the winner. But
all right,
I don't know. No, but for the idea, I think behind it, I need have more conviction in what I'm saying. The De Zerbi, the new manager bounce, I do think he'll have them playing more attacking. I think there will be a spark in them somewhat. Because look, if there was going to be Tudor, obviously, I knew from the start there would be no new manager bounce. That one just seemed very uninspiring.
Especially since they played us first.
This one seems like a big fish that they have managed to reel in despite their position. And I think he might inspire them. I think you're right. They're going to leak goals in a awkward growing phase, but they'll also be able to score goals. And they that is more kind of how they're built. This team, for the most part, under Ange Postecoglou, the bulk of this team, the high line, that's how kind of like they were constructed. I think it might suit them naturally, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Richarlison goal in there. Or
I was about to say the only player in that team that really
Xavi
looks
Simmons.
like
He might get the best out of Xavi Simmons.
the only player that really looks like they're up for a relegation fight. You know how Terry's been going on about how Spurs players aren't up for a fight. The only player that is Richarlison. So if you want to bet for Spurs in this match, Richarlison's your man.
There you go. All right, let's move on. We've gone over an hour on the. I've never gone over an hour on. It's the big weekend and lots to talk about. All right, the main event, the game of the weekend, without a shadow of a doubt, when the two big boys clash, it's always the game of the weekend. Chelsea and Manchester City at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, City, as we've mentioned, look, they beat us in the cup. They beat Liverpool in the cup. So they are in they found a little bit of form. Chelsea, in the meanwhile, come off of a 7-0 win against Port Vale. But before that, they lost 3-0 to Everton. They're self-given, what's the word I'm looking for? Suspensions, but the inflicted suspensions. Enzo's going to miss this game like he missed for Port Vale because Chelsea are denying reality that when you run a club like this, your players are going to want to leave.
Anton, they have to protect the culture so that
What
Liam
culture?
can age. Liam wants to age them in. He's got to protect. He's got to protect the culture. Okay.
Yeah, but they're gonna. The man they bought for over £100 million, £105 million. He's not aging well enough, apparently, or he wants to age somewhere else.
It's a dumpster fire. It's just a dumpster fire, man. You know how to make Chelsea make sense is not think about it.
Yeah,
that's the only. It makes sense if you don't think about it. That's the only.
This whole time I'm like Stamford Bridge, the crowd, the tiny pitch. They're always up for all this stuff, and then I'm thinking, Liam Rosenior against Pep Guardiola.
It's the wrong time, man. It's just the wrong time. City are resurgent. City have a tiny little bit of belief because they beat us in the Carabao Cup, and all their fans, oh, we're back, we're going to go on and win the league now. We're blah, 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 blah.
We're beating so they have
a tiny little bit of maybe, just maybe, and Chelsea are in the shitter right now. So it's just the wrong time, really.
Yeah, well, I'll go. This is my one, because I was saying this to Jake, so I'm going to back up my words when we were saying this. This is like that Liverpool game where basically if they don't win, it is over. I've told you that even a draw, it's over. And by the way, please God.
And we predicted that we're 12 points. If what we predict happens, we're 12 points clear when this game kicks off.
Right. So, even if it's a draw, it's 11 points clear.
It's a double-digit lead.
It's a double-digit lead if they don't win.
Yeah.
Right? I know, guarantee they have a game in hand, but that game in hand would then become, if there was a draw at least, 8, and the 9 would be solidified. Right? The 9 that we have now, which has got kind of a 6 in disguise, would be a solid fucking 9, or a solid 8, which, by the way, is the lead that we had when we played in 2023, but this time without, it would be
but there were 2 games in hand. There were 2 games in hand that time. So technically it was a 2-point lead, but
right. Yeah, correct. So I think it'll be one of these games where it's going to be close. Chelsea are going to up their levels despite Enzo. I think anytime these players miss out and the other teams overlooks it, I think that team ends up racing. I would imagine this is a who the midfield be? Caicedo and Santos most likely. So I imagine they'll set up to try to frustrate City. I think they'll nick a goal. I think City will have one, but I do think that they end some dodgy penalty where Haaland puts away, or Haaland gets in there or something, or someone like Bernardo Silva pops up with a weird goal or something. And here it comes, the big exciting celebrations, the passionate celebrations, as they're like, yes, we're gonna fuck it, we're still in here, Arsenal, we're watching you, oh, this is a massive goal for the title race. No, it won't be, because they'll still be 9 points behind. But you guys can think what you want to think, but I've given you a win. Even though I've said for the last 6 weeks that you're losing this game. Chelsea are not the Chelsea I thought it would be. But
they're just not inspiring any confidence at all, Chelsea. They're not giving you anything, like at all. You know, there's nothing I can back. There's nothing I can get behind. The manager is a Looney Tune. The players don't seem to like. And
Reece James is out.
Reece James is out. You know, the manager has no clue. You know, the board are don't give a shit about anything. There's going to be a protest before this game, or before the United game, actually.
The board were at Dodger Stadium the other day at the trophy.
See, they don't give a shit. It's a shambles. It's a shambles, and City are going to wipe the floor with them.
What, your scoreline?
I say 3-0, 3-1.
You said 3-1.
I'm giving Chelsea a pity goal. Really? Maybe they'll hit on the break. Maybe, but City
you've already given away your prop earlier in the show. I might as well just put it up on screen.
Yeah, like easy money. Haaland to score is easy money. Literally, if every single game, just bet Haaland to score every single game all season long, and you'll probably make money.
Except for the time that he had like a big goal scoring.
I would still every single game in that scoring drought, I still would have bet him to score.
We've just been losing money though. Anyway, we'll go on. No, Jake's right. Jake's right.
How many goals does he have this season? 30. Like
yeah, he's the safest bet. I'm just having a bit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. If you're feeling froggy, Shirky to score or assist.
All right. All right. Well, we're almost an hour and a quarter into this video, so we're finally reached Monday Night Football at the Theater of Dreams.
Manchester United get to play a
games
game
again. By the way, they're dreaming of Champions League nights once more, returning to Manchester, the red side of Manchester.
They're actually playing a game. I didn't realize.
I know. Shocker, surprise. Man United are actually wake up, guys. You have a game this weekend. Or actually not. It's actually Monday morning, but Monday night.
It's actually Monday, yeah. It's been like a month.
Sorry, the Premier League have a great sense of humor where they're like, the team that hasn't played for forever, and now we're going to make them wait until Monday night to
play. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Oh, God. But that being said, their patience will be rewarded, in my opinion, and I'm going to have a convincing 3-1 Manchester United victory. And I do like a bit of Benjamin Sesko action, a bit of Bruno action, a bit of Matheus Cunha action. Any of those. I feel
like the second most nailed on prop bet of the whole season is Bruno Fernandes goal or assist.
And pop it up on the screen. Oh wait,
oops. I think United are going to win for sure.
Yeah.
And I think this is the second easiest bet to make of all prop bets in all the games is Bruno Fernandes. They run it through him. Everything runs through him, especially under Carrick. In this late resurgence, revival of theirs, whatever you want to call it.
He's by the way said in an interview, by the way, in recent days with Fabrizio Romano on his what's it called, the Men in Blazers podcast. He said that he's happy. His family is very happy to stay in Manchester, which is a full 360 from the last time he was on that podcast. when he was saying, "Hey, the club they want me out," and all this type of stuff. Or there were times where the club was wanting me. It's a full 360. So all of a sudden, something has changed. And that, by the way, that's for me. If I'm a Man United fan, that is an indication that the culture is being fixed behind the scenes. Because if you have one moment that in the same platform, told you, "Hey, all these things, hey, I don't know about my future here, or whatever. They might want me out to, hey, my family is happy to Manchester. I want to raise my daughter here in Manchester." Something's happened. Something has definitely happened. I thought he was halfway to Saudi.
The Bruno Fernandes stuff is very, very interesting to me. Very
He's obviously
intriguing.
a very emotional guy, by the way.
Very intriguing because what's he, like 33? So are they trying to build the future around
investment? Yeah, I don't know.
Are they trying to build the future around it? Like, I'm not sure. But as far as the rest of this season, he's the guy.
Yeah. And yeah, Jake's gone for a United 2-1 win.
This will be a fun game, though. This will be a fun game. Spicy. It's a derby.
It will.
It's an old school derby.
Yeah, it was. You know what?
This is going to be a spicy game.
Derby. Yeah, and there we go. And that has been finally my longest preview of all season.
The longest preview show of all time.
Well, it might be continuing this way the rest of the year because we've richly hit the crunch time of the season. And as you can see, we're talking relegation, we're talking top four, we're talking title charge. I'm going to get roasted if we don't win the Premier League. I'm serious, but I'm that confident.
We're all gonna disappear.
Jake,
if we don't win anything, we're all just gonna disappear.
No, I'm not disappearing. He can speak for himself.
No,
I will be here.
No, we're gonna we're all just gonna disappear. It's just we're all just gonna fade from existence.
No, but I will be Arteta out. I will be Arteta out though,
for sure.
It'll be a different Anton next year.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yuck. I was going to say one more thing. Oh, yeah, right. The reason, by the way, I'm doubling down because it's something Anton's here yesterday. The reason why I'm doing this, by the way, is that if a year ago when Liverpool were in this position, everyone was saying, hey, it's done. Liverpool's winning. The only reason that people aren't is because it's Arsenal. The only reason people think, oh, the City could do it. No, everyone said, I'm not this is why people making me look crazy. I was sitting on streams where everyone was saying Arsenal have done it. Terry had moved us from marginal favorites to clear favorites that night when we beat West Ham. Ducks down and scored. When West Ham, drew with City. Ducks down and scored. All of a sudden, hey, it's all changed because of games that have nothing to do with the Premier League. So it's just a point that I'm having to make that if this was City that were 9 points clear, if this was Liverpool that was 9 points clear, all you would be saying it's done and wouldn't be laughing at a single person who said he had that opinion. So that's kind of the reason why I've been doing it. Anyway, guys, that is all we had time for. We have more than enough time today. It is now exactly 12 o'clock p.m. at midnight on the dot. It's now the 11th of April for me at time of recording. It'll come out for you guys still on the 10th of April, this video, before West Ham kicks off against Wolves. And until the next time, guys, we're out of here. Enjoy the weekend of games. And we'll be back for the post-game show after hopefully a win against Bournemouth. We'll see you later.